This morning for you on Daybreak, we'll tell you why the Missouri Secretary of State wants to change the process of primary voting.
And the lenient sentence that motivated a Missouri lawmaker to push for harsher punishments for carjackings.
Also, the party continues for Chiefs fans. We'll talk parades and more coming up this morning for you on Daybreak.
We sure will. It's Tuesday, February 4th. I'm Lauren Barnes.
I'm Joe Morano, and that parade set for tomorrow. Gonna have to deal with some snow and things, but I think everyone will think it'll be worth it, right?
Yes, as long as you bundle up. I had some people on Facebook asking me if I was going to go, and honestly, I thought about it, but yeah, the snow and the ice I don't think is gonna be worth it for me, but for a lot of people out there, it will be.
If you go, you should prep for extra travel time, right? You don't necessarily have that, seeing as your bedtime is likely in the 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock window.
Yes,
you know?
it would not be good to get stuck in Kansas City, but if you are, have more flexibility, then
right. Something to watch out for. That's what you've been telling us too, right?
What I'm more concerned about with the parade isn't really the conditions in Kansas City. I'm more concerned about the traveling. People from Springfield trying to go, you're going to have to drive through some snowy conditions to get there. Maybe you get there fine, but on the way back there'll be snow on the ground and the roads will be covered. So I'm more concerned about the getting to and getting from. So you want to really keep that in mind and stay tuned to the forecast through the next couple of days.
Yeah, there's plenty of alerts and things today, right?
Right. So we've got the winter weather advisory that's in effect for tonight for some light icing by tomorrow morning. Then we've got the bigger deal is the winter storm watch that's in effect for most of our counties along and north of the interstate, where we could get some accumulating and impactful snow as we head into Wednesday. This morning we're looking at some rain in Branson. We've got some wet roads. It's 43 degrees out there right now. Some of this rain is coming down pretty moderate to heavy at times. That's where we've got some of these reds north of Gainesville near Ava and Mountain Grove. Starting to see some light rain make it into Springfield, kind of sprinkling out there right now. Temperatures are much colder by about 20 degrees. We're at 40 in Springfield, temperatures in the 30s to the north, but still holding on to the 50s to the south and east. So we're starting out with some wet roads this morning. Wet conditions could turn a little bit slick later on today as temperatures get colder. Might have some slick spots by tomorrow morning. Temperatures tumble all day today. We're in the 30s by dismissal with that change to a light mix. Many more details on what that winter storm watch means coming up in 10 minutes.
In our political coverage for you, of course, it's an election year, but Missouri Secretary of State Jay Ashcroft says he wants to get rid of the state presidential primary, saying it isn't cost effective. Missouri holds a primary for you to vote for the nomination of your respective party, but there's also a caucus which each party is responsible for. That's where delegates are chosen to eventually go to the national convention. We spoke with both the Greene County Republican Central Committee and Greene County Democrats to get opinions on Ashcroft's wish to do away with the preference primary.
It makes a caucus go easier when you have a presidential preference primary because it's already determined. But it's very expensive. I can understand that. With they're going to have to print 5 different ballots.
There are a lot of people who are more introverted and don't necessarily want to be in a room debating for their candidate for 3 hours, and we want to make sure that they have a voice too. The way that I see it is that the primary plays a pivotal function in giving those people who are more introverted a voice and an opportunity to express that.
The Missouri presidential preference primary is still scheduled to happen. It'll be March 10th, and the last day to register to vote is February 12th. Around the region now for you, one Missouri lawmaker is trying to make carjackings fall under a new legal category called vehicular hijacking.
Color 10's Nija McDonald joins us this morning to explain exactly what that would change. Nija?
Well, good morning, Lauren and Joe. State Senator Bob Onder testified before a Senate committee this week in Jefferson City. Now, support for the measure is shared by the Missouri Attorney General's office and several law enforcement agencies. They say current law leaves a gap when it comes to carjackings. Senator Onder says one St. Louis area case resulted in the carjacker receiving 120 days of shock time, a sentence he and the victim feel is too lenient.
These are violent crimes in which Missourians are terrorized in what should be a safe sanctuary, their cars. Senate Bill 561 would create a new crime of vehicle hijacking that would mirror first and second degree armed robbery.
Now, the bill would also result in a mandatory certification hearing for offenders between the ages of 12 and 18. The committee chairman said one committee member had expressed concern about that provision of the bill. However, no one testified against the bill during Monday's hearing.
All right, something to look out for. Thank you, Nija. Business owners can start submitting applications to take part in the Department of Labor's Hire Vets Medallion Award program. The program recognizes small businesses, nonprofit organizations, and large companies for recruiting and employing veterans. The program recognizes those qualified for meeting certain criteria designed to encourage veteran-friendly businesses, and you can apply for the award by visiting hirevets.gov. The deadline for that would be April 30th.
We continue to keep crime in focus this morning as the Branson Police Department is warning you about counterfeit bills. Be on the lookout for fake $5, $10, $20, $50, and even $100 bills. They are in circulation right now. A lot of the money will have the markings for motion picture use only on the front and back of the bill. There may also be printed red Chinese symbols. Counterfeit bills usually also have the same serial number. You can hold the bill up to the light to see if there's a watermark on the front right side. If not, call police to report that fake money.
A pit bull adopted from the Humane Society in Springfield needs a ride home, and his life may literally depend on it.
This is Diesel. He was adopted from the shelter about 7 months ago. The 2-year-old was dropped off at a kill shelter in South Carolina about a week ago.
And since then, the local shelter's been trying to figure out a way to get him out of there.
The fear is he will be euthanized because so many pit bulls in that location are put down when the shelters are full.
He's only 2 years old. I personally remember him, and he was very friendly, very sweet, and he just has a lot of love to give. And through being a no-kill shelter and putting the key pieces together, adopters, fosters, donating, and volunteering, we've been able to save, this year, we're almost 3,000 animals. We're able to find homes for them.
The Humane Society is a no-kill shelter and has arranged a vehicle to make the trip to South Carolina, but needs money to pay for hotels and gas to return Diesel. After that hurdle is cleared, he will be available for adoption. You can find a way to donate by finding the story on our website. We move on to some good news for you this morning. The feeling of the Chiefs being Super Bowl champs may still be new to you. Plenty are showing off that Chiefs pride, but yesterday a local fan got his in a more permanent way. Jake Dalton, who lives in Oklahoma, drove back to Missouri, his home state, to get that arrowhead tattoo that he's always wanted, but he was waiting for a special occasion.
I've been wanting it for a long time, and I thought, you know, I'm going to get it when they go to the Super Bowl, and now it's even better that they won the Super Bowl. I was getting it irregardless, but now that they won, it's even that more special.
Even just a few minutes after the game was over, people were already messaging me, get ready for more arrowheads to come in to get done, be ready for that big influx of them.
A less permanent way to celebrate is happening tomorrow as preparations are underway in Kansas City for the Chiefs Kingdom Champion Parade. Chris Hernandez with the City of Kansas City says they learned a lot of lessons from the Royals World Series Parade in 2015. One of them being it's better if people use public transportation. Details about pickup and drop-off locations are scarce, but the city is offering shuttles like Park and Ride to avoid this kind of situation that happened in 2015. People parking on highways.
All those folks who were parked on exit ramps from the highway, don't do that this time. You're going to get towed. It's a pain to get towed. Just avoid that.
There will also be 700 porta potties positioned a block away from all of the parade route instead of 200 like last time. The streetcar will be completely shut down starting at midnight tonight. City officials remind you to dress warm.
If you want to go, things are set to start there Wednesday at 11:30 in the morning. That will conclude with a victory rally at Union Station at about 1:30. Still waiting for the exact route to be announced. We're expecting that later today. If you don't want to go, you want to avoid the headaches of the travel and everything else, you'll be able to watch it on KOZL. We'll be bringing that to you. And Springfield's mayor is also hinting at a possible celebration here. He congratulated the team on the big win, Ken McClure did, but also said these sorts of championships bring a community together to celebrate, and it creates a sense of place that citizens feel proud of.
McClure went on to say last fall the Stanley Cup came to Springfield to celebrate the Blues' historic win. More than 6,000 people showed up for that, so maybe we'll be seeing our own sort of Chiefs Kingdom parade.
Yeah, I would keep your eyes and ears open for that. Not anything immediate, but That could happen, everyone. Elisa, would you be excited if the Super Bowl trophy came here?
Yes, but I do want you guys to pay attention to the forecast if you are headed up to Kansas City. We're starting out with some light rain out there this morning, heavier rain to the south around Branson, so you'll have a wet commute there. Details on the snow forecast for tomorrow. Winter storm watches are already in effect. Details coming up next.
From Color 10 Ozarks First, Lauren Barnes, Joe Morano, and weather with meteorologist Elisa Raffa. This is Color 10 News Daybreak.